Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to be doing my Shop My Stash for April 2024. Now, usually whenever I'm getting ready to do my Shop My Stash for April, we are getting ready for Easter, but this year, Easter fell at the end of March, beginning of April. Good Friday was the 30th. Today is April 1st, and I'm feeling this, and it happens to be Easter. Usually, Easter comes in April, like around the middle, so we get a holiday with Good Friday and Easter in April. I kind of feel like we're being ripped off, where a holiday is concerned in April. This year, Easter came 2 weeks after St. Patrick's Day, which is like so weird, but even so, we're still going to be doing pastels, the brighter colors, because even though Easter has technically already have passed, by the time you're seeing this video, we're still in spring. And in the springtime, I like the pastel shades, the brighter shades, similar, those softer, corally, warmer, neutral. So that's what we're going to be doing. Let's go ahead and jump into our video. We're going to start with eyeshadow palettes. If you're new to my channel, I always start with my eyeshadow palettes because it's easier for me to pick up my palettes first, and then I can pick up my highlighter, my blush, all that stuff just to kind of coordinate with the eyeshadow palettes. By the way, my husband is downstairs cleaning the refrigerator, so hopefully you won't hear like any kind of banging going on in the background. One thing I always forget to mention is that I don't pull lips, so I don't pull like any kind of lipsticks, lip products, anything like that. I used to, but I always ended up just pulling other products anyway, so it's just easier and quicker not to worry about pulling lips. But let's go ahead and do this part. So the first thing that I pulled out, and I did actually switch out a couple of palettes, but the first one we have is the Beauty Gems, and this palette is just so pretty. It's a really inexpensive palette that I got off of Ulta, only paid $8 for, but it's just a beautiful color story. I thought about keeping this one out, but I do have some other neutral palettes that I think I'm going to pull instead. Then we have our Mora Time to Shine. I did use this one a decent amount of times. Gorgeous color story. And then this is one of the palettes I actually pulled out after my Shop My Stash. I had the BH Cosmetics Pistachio palette, which I put back, and I also had the Tropical Vibes or something palette from Ace Beauté. I put that one back too. I realized I hadn't used this one in a while, and I really wanted to test out the formula some more to see if I actually wanted to keep it. This is a Dirty Martini from Glamlight, and yes, it is still stunning. This is our color story. We have some greens, blues, some coppers. The mattes and the shimmers in here, they were absolutely beautiful. I enjoyed working with this palette. And then we have our Nomad. This is the Ireland Wild Atlantic Way. This was their kind of St. Patrick's Day launch for 2024. So this one actually launched after I did my last Shop My Stash, and this color story is gorgeous. If you are new to my channel, I absolutely love green. Green is my absolute favorite eyeshadow shade to use. So when I saw this being launched, yes, I fell in love. And everything about this palette, the mattes, the shimmers, it's beautiful. And then I pulled out my Primal palette from Blend Bunny. I thought about keeping this one out for another month, but the shimmers on the bottom, while I do like these, none of these are ones that I could see myself using. And the other palettes I'm going to pull, they have like these kind of pastel shades. So I don't really need this one, at least, for the month. And then the last palette I pulled out is my Earthy palette. You can't have St. Patrick's Day, themed Shop My Stash without greens. And this one has like all the greens you could think of, well, mostly. And then you have some oranges here, some neutrals here. So this was a beautiful palette to work with. All right, so I'm going to put these away, and then we can start picking out some new palettes. Starting with our shelf, as always, this is mainly where I keep like all of my larger indie palettes. I also have some ColourPop up here. So let's pick out some palettes for April. Like I said, even though Easter is technically past, I still like the bright pastel shades for spring. So I think the first thing I'm going to pull is the Dollhouse palette from Beauty Bay, Blend Bunny Cosmetics. This is just the perfect kind of a pastel neutral palette, but there's also some deeper shades in here. So this will be the first palette I'm going to pull. I always like to pull 6 palettes whenever I do my Shop My Stash, so I have like plenty of things to choose from. So I want to pull the Sugar and Grunge. Unfortunately, this palette has been discontinued. She had to pull it because there was some conflict like with another brand that apparently had trademarked the word grunge, so they were going to like sue her or something if she continued to use it, so she just went ahead and pulled the palette. It's really sad because the color story in here is really, really pretty. We also have some really pretty pastels in here. Hold on, you know what? I'm going to compare these two palettes and see if I want to keep them both out. So as you can see, there are some shades that are similar in here, but for the most part, they are pretty different. So I'll go ahead and I'll pull these two. I don't usually pull like two palettes from the same brand, but I love both of these. I definitely want to pull this one. This is the Lost in Los Angeles from BH Cosmetics. As you can see, these are like ultimate, just gorgeous pastels, and the shimmers in here are stunning. So that makes 3 palettes, which technically gives me 3 more spaces. I'm thinking about pulling the Malibu Glitz Sherbet Dreams. This is a really pretty rainbow palette. Do I want to pull this? The formula in this palette, it is absolutely stunning. And there's some gorgeous pastel shades in here. We'll pull it for now. I'll see what else that I pull, and I might put this one back, but for now, we'll keep it out. I also have this one. Hold on, I'm going to just pull this one over to the vanity so you can see. This is the Petal Perfect from Profusion. I have already filmed with this, but that video has not gone up yet. So if you want to know what I thought about this palette, you'll have to watch that video. I think it's going to go live either Wednesday or Thursday. It just depends on when I get it edited. But as you can see, this is another pretty kind of a pastel spring palette. I'm definitely going to be keeping this one out though because I'm wanting to test it more. There's also a couple of blushes that came with this collection. These are cream to powder blushes, so we'll be keeping this one out. I'm not going to keep out the lip product or the highlighter whenever I actually do my Shop My Stash, but we will definitely be having these as well as the palette. So technically we have, right now, 5 palettes, and there are a lot of pastel shades in this, but I really do want to pull this one, which is the Ice Cream Dreams, mainly because of one shade. The shade that I really want out of this palette is this one right here, which is called Lemon. I don't think I have that anywhere else as far as a really pretty shiny wet yellow gold like this. Let me check the other palettes. If I have something like this, then I will put this one back and just keep using the other ones. In the Lost in Los Angeles palette, I do have this shade. And it's pretty similar to that one. Let me swatch them real quick. Kind of do a little bit of a comparison. All right, so the one on the left is from the BH Cosmetics palette. The one on the right is from the Glamlight palette. And yeah, as you can see, they're pretty much the same. So I'm going to put this one back and we'll just use the other ones. All right, so now let's go to our drawers. Let's see if there's anything in here. Because technically I can pull one more palette. Top drawer. We have our Kiss palette. I just filmed a look with this video. That video should already be up. I freaking loved working with this palette, though. It is beautiful. And this collector's box, it is amazing. All right, moving into our second drawer. Definitely this one. This is the very first palette I ever got from ColourPop. This is the Sweet Talk palette, and it is the perfect springtime color story. I mean, look at this. These corals, these shimmers. This one in the top right there is absolutely stunning. So we're definitely going to pull this one. And I just want to kind of look around just real quick to see if there's anything else in here that I want to pull. I do have this one, which is the Baby Got Peach from ColourPop. This one has a lot of peachy shades, very similar to the Sweet Talk. So yeah, since I have the Sweet Talk, we're not going to pull this one. Unless just for the heck of it, look on the very last drawer, even though I do have 6 palettes already. Thought about pulling out the Sakura Blossom again, but I have really pretty pinks already in the palettes that I have. Do I want to pull this one? This is the Tartlet palette from Tarte. This one is like the ultimate just springtime nude, and it still smells like cookies. I think I'm going to pull this one too. I'm just going to do like a quick little check of the palettes that I pulled and then make a final decision on if those are the ones that I'm going to keep out or not. Okay, so these are all of the color stories. I don't usually lay all the palettes out so you guys can see the color stories laid out this way. My girl Gigi Loves Beauty, this is how she does it all the time when she does her Shop My Stashes, but I really just kind of wanted to compare them. Let me know, guys, if you like me doing it this way, with showing you all the color stories put together. If you do, then I can do that in future Shop My Stashes. I'm just kind of trying it out for this month. These two palettes, as you can see, are similar. There are some similar tones in here, but this one has that gold, so that's the reason why I'm keeping this one out. I feel like these two are pretty similar, but it's mainly the shimmers that are different from these, so that's why we're keeping those out. And obviously these 3 are completely different, and there are like nudes and brighter colors in here that are not in the other palette. So I think this is what we're going to go for. These are the palettes that we're going to pull. I actually pulled 7, and I probably won't use all of them, but I do like to have options. Now for our base products: foundation, primers, concealers, powders, setting sprays, and then we will go through this basket real quick. Some of the products over here I will be keeping out. Some of them I'm going to be putting away. First of all, let's put away my dirty sponge that I used today. Let's start with our primers. I pulled the Cosmic Cowgirl, and I also pulled the e.l.f. Power Grip. I'm going to keep this one out at all times from now on because I think I only have one other gripping primer. So we're just going to keep this one out until it's empty. And then for foundations, I also pulled out this one, the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Primer. This one is such a nice primer. We're going to go ahead and put that one back. The foundations that I pulled the Ardell Camouflage. I got this in a Dollar Tree, but you guys, it is a gorgeous foundation. This is in dark 10. I'm going to put this over here with my Project Empties because what I've been doing is mixing it with the JCat one, and together you guys are they're absolutely perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and just use these ones, continue to use these two together. The other foundation that I pulled is Sephora Best Skin Ever. This is another gorgeous foundation. The shade is in 25.5 wide. We're going to put this in away. My Murad Oil Control Mattifier. We're going to put that to the side. The 2 setting sprays that I pulled the Mora Timeless. Love this one. It's not as good as like my No Filter one from ColourPop, which is a really good mattifying lasting primer, or setting spray rather. This one is decent, but it's not as good as that one. The ITK, this one I think I'm just going to go ahead and pass this one on to my daughter. I like this one. It gives the most beautiful healthy glow to the skin, but with my skin being so oily as it is, within an hour of using this and my face is already shiny, I think my daughter is going to really, really like this one. She just really loves that natural, healthy glow. So I think I'm just going to pass this one to her. I do have some empties over here, but I kept them up here because I wanted to show you guys what they were real quick. I'm doing the end of the year empties the same way that I did last year, where at the end of the year, I'm going to show you guys all the makeup products that I used up. So rather than showing those in like the regular trash empties I do throughout the year, I'll just show you guys those my Shop My Stash. The first thing that I used up, and I may have already talked about this, I can't remember, but this is the Dinoplatz mascara. You guys, this was so good. The Elevator mascara or Escalator mascara. This is a K-Beauty product, and it was so freaking good. It separated my lashes. It gave me length. It actually held my lashes up. I really enjoyed this one. I also emptied. This is from Revolution. This is the Conceal and Define Concealer. This shade is in C10. I've been using it as a corrector because it's actually a little bit too light and a little bit too pink for me. As a corrector, it worked fantastic. I think that's everything that I emptied. All right, let's do powders. Oh, I also have this foundation out. This is the AOA Studio Air Cream Foundation. Just wanted to test this one out some more. I like it, but this shade is really too light for me. I have the deeper shade in my cart right now so that I can give that one a try. The formula is really pretty, but this shade, it's just too light. I'll probably give this one to my daughter. I always keep my Revolution Bright Eye Powder out. Since I did use up that Conceal and Define concealer from Revolution, I went ahead and pulled back out the e.l.f. Putty Correcting Eye Brightener. It's not one of my favorites, but it's decent. We'll keep this one out. The powders that I pulled, we have the AOA Studio Puff and Set. I'm going to keep this one out. This is the one that I use as my under eye setting powder, but I'm going to put these two back with the AOA Studio Perfect in Banana, and then this is the Photo Focus Banana Powder. This is just in that Sesame Street branding packaging, but the Photo Focus is what this is. The concealers. I realized I think I only used this one once. I was using these two a lot, and I was using the ones in my Project Empties and just kind of forgot about this one. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this one out because I do want to test it out more. I'm going to keep out my Artista liner. I'm also going to keep out this concealer. This is the Candy Moyo. I got this in the Dollar Tree, and as you can see, I have almost used this one up, but I use this one all over. I put it on my forehead, on my, my chin, around my nose, all that. If you're someone who just wants to do concealer underneath your eyes, you will not use it up as fast as I did, but there is, not a whole lot of product in here. It's a light to medium coverage. I prefer a full coverage, so I use a separate, different concealer underneath my eyes, but I do like this one. I'm going to keep it out though since it's almost done. I'm also going to keep out the Slim Brow Pencil from AOA Studio. I like this one, and it's almost used up too. We're going to keep out our Stila mascara. This is the one that I pulled in to replace the Dinoplatz when I finished that one up. This is from Beauty Intuition. This is the volumizing mascara. This is from the Dollar Tree. When I first used this one, when I tested it out, I didn't really think it was that great, but combined with the Stila, the two of them together are really pretty. I'm going to keep out my AOE Studio Soft Base. This one is a lighter one that's kind of on, like the lighter nude side, so it'd be really good for the pastel shades. We're going to put back our Incognito Wet n Wild concealer. And we're also going to put back this liner. This is the Feather Ink from Alien Studio. I really didn't like this one that much. The tip on the end here is really stiff, so it's a little bit more difficult to get a nice fine line. It was decent, not that great. All right, let's go through this basket really quickly. First of all, our Venetian Romance from Alien Studio. I use this one a lot. I'm going to keep out the Wet n Wild one. As you can see, I not only hit pan on this, but I use this one so much. I'm going to go ahead and just keep this one out for the rest of the year, see how much more pan I can get to, see if I can actually get this used up by the end of the year, and then we'll just use a second bronzer to go with it. This is such a beautiful formula. I'm going to put back my full spectrum from CoverGirl. We're going to put back, this is the Kiko Unexpected Paradise Highlighter in Golden River. I think I'm going to keep this one out. This is from CoverGirl. This is the True Blend Super Stunner Highlighter. The shade is in Gilded Glory. I only got to use this one a few times. I'm going to keep this one out. We're going to put back our Flatter Me palette. I will be pulling this one back out for the summer, though, for those beautiful oranges in the middle. I'm going to put back both of my cream blushes. We have the one from Profusion. This is from that Full Bloom collection, the Rose Petal. And then this one is from Moira. This shade is in Love Heat, or the Love Heat Cream Blush, and I will definitely pull this one back out for the summer as well. This one, I think I'm going to go ahead and toss. This is from an indie brand that no longer exists. The owner was a friend of mine, but she stopped making highlighters a long time ago. This was in Philip Fritzy. I kept because it was a very unique, like green to blue shift, but when I tried to use it to do a look over St. Patrick's Day, it was really dry. I don't know, it's time. I've had this for so long. It's time to finally go ahead and just let this one go. We're going to put back our ColourPop Forever Yours Pressed Powder Blush. Both of these are AOA Studio. These are gorgeous. These are the Petal Pops. I love these. These are such a gorgeous formula. We're going to put back, this is the Glow Tape from Tarte, and then this one is the Halo Glow Beauty Wand Blush from e.l.f. This blush, you guys, oh my god, it is stunning. This is the Precious Minerals from Starry. I don't know what the shade is for this one. Oh, there it is right there. Natural Glow. This one is like a warm kind of a neutral peach pink, and it has this gorgeous like underlying golden glow, and when I put this on, it just looks like I have a very healthy, lit from within, almost wet looking cheek. It is so pretty, and I got this from the Dollar Tree, guys. It's stunning. This one I'm going to keep out. This is from Give Beauty. This is the Feelin' Cheeky and Flirty Talk. I only use this one a couple of times, and these are going to be really, really pretty spring tone shades, so we'll keep this one out. Let's start with our base products, and what I'm going to do is pull these out and just put them over here so that we can actually see what's in the drawers. Let's start with our powders. The first one that I'm going to pull is this one. This is from MAC Andy. I got this one from Temu. It says 020. This is a really pretty like matte powder, and I'm probably going to go ahead and just keep this one out through May. And then the other powder I'm going to pull, this is from Sephora. This is just their translucent setting powder. As you can see, I've almost used this one up, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull this one and keep it out till it's used up. Now for primers. I like to pick out multiple formulas. The first thing that I like to have is something for my pores. And I think I want to pull out this one. This is the Poreless Face Primer from Ulta. So we're going to give this one a try. That one is actually a newer one I got in December. I don't even think I've used that one yet. We also have the Pore Vanishing one from Moira. You know what? I'm going to pull out two. I'm going to pull this one out as well. I've only used this one once. I would like to use it some more. Then we have a mattifying. And I'm going to pull out this one from Moira. This is the Complete Facial Primer Mattifying. And I also like to have something that's like a gripping primer, but I already have the one from e.l.f. out, so we're good there. And since I already have my AOA Studio, that lighter primer, I don't need another eyeshadow primer either. So now let's do foundations. I always like to pick two, and you guys, I'm kind of at that point where I'm like, I have so many that I want to pull and try, but we'll only have one face. First thing we're going to pull is these two, and these are the Flawless Longwear foundations from AOA Studio. I'm pulling both because one shade is slightly light, one shade is slightly deep, so I can just mix these two. And then I want to pull one more foundation. It's either going to be the Ardell, the Matte Camera Ready from AOA Studio, or this one. I'm not sure. What do I want to do? I already have, foundations over here in my Project Empties as well. Let's pull the Ardell Photo Face. This is a matte foundation. We'll pull this one too. Do I want to pull a face palette? I'm going to pull this one. This is just a Revolution palette that I got out of an advent calendar. I'm going to keep this one out, and I'll probably just keep it out through the summer, or at least until May as well. Moving over here, I want to pick out one more liner. Let's pull this one. This is the Cosmic Cowgirl from AOA Studio. I haven't used this one at all yet. Let's pull this one. I don't need any mascaras, and I don't need a brow, so let's move into highlighters. That face palette that I just pulled already has some highlighters, but I would like to pull a couple more. Something soft, something peachy, since this is the spring. I'm going to pull this one. This is Magic Hour it's the Everglow highlighter from AOA Studio. This is just like the perfect kind of a soft pink. I think I want to pull one of my Thaler ones from Kimchi. This one on Hollywood Glow. This one has a very light kind of a champagne gold, and this one has just a bit of a lavender purple, so this would be really pretty for some springtime looks. Let's move into our creams. I think I want to pull this one as well. This is from the Tinkerbell ColourPop collection in Happy Thoughts. I need a cream bronzer, and then I'm also going to go ahead and pull out a second powder. For cream, I'm going to pull out this one. This is from Temu. It is an orange. Pink is the shade. This is such a perfect, creamy, warm bronzer. I love this formula. We'll see how much pan I can hit by the end of the month. And then for powder, I think I'm going to pull the LYS. And this is just the No Limits bronzer in Harmony. So it'd be a very soft, warm tone. Now moving into blush. I already have these from Profusion, which is part of that Petal collection. These are actually for the lip and cheek. So we have these two already. Once again, so many products I want to use, but I only have one face, unfortunately. I think I'm going to pull this one. This is in Mellow Pink from Ombre, the signature blush. This would be a very pretty, just soft, neutral, like everyday one. I think I'm going to pull, not this one from Essence. This is the Pure Nude Baked Blush in Bold Heart, so pull this one. That one is more of a glowy pink. I do want to have like a matte pink as well. I'm going to pull, make sure, this one. This is the Thaler blush from Kimchi Cheek and Cheeky. Both of these are really pretty soft matte pink shades. And I have a couple of new blushes from e.l.f. I finally picked up a couple of the Camo liquid blushes. I was going to grab these and do like a video on them like earlier when they first came out, but by then they had been out for a while and so many people had done videos. It just wasn't worth doing. But on my birthday, my family took me to Target and they let me do a little bit of shopping, and these were two of the things that I picked up. So we have the Camo liquid blushes. These shades are in Coral Crush and Suave Mauve. So I'm very excited to try these. I have like so many creams that I would love to pull out right now, but once again, one face, only one. Like I'd like to pull this one out from Profusion. I have this one from BH Cosmetics, which I absolutely love. A couple more over here. And then I have this one. This one I got from the Dollar Tree. It's the Clean Beauty Lip and Color Cream Blush Duo. This is what I'm going to do. I don't want to have a whole bunch of repeating shades, so I'm going to lay all the blushes out that I currently have so I can see the color stories, and then I'll decide if I want to pick anything else out and what that'll be. Okay, so these are the current ones that I have out, and as you can see, even though I have a lot, the tones are like completely different in every single one of them. None of these are the same. I am going to put this one back though, because this is like a deep, rich, warm orange. And I know that I probably won't use this one in April, but it would definitely be beautiful in the summer. So instead, I'm going to pull this one. It looks like really pink on camera, but it's not. It's more of a soft coral, which is different from the other tone. So this is going to be what we're going to pull. These are going to be the blushes. So what I'm going to do now, since this video I know has already gone longer than my Shop My Stashes usually are, instead of filming the organization part, I'm just going to get everything organized, and then I will come back in 2 and 2 and show you guys what it looks like. Everything is nicely organized. I did realize that I didn't pull my setting spray, so I did that off camera. We had the Milani Make It Last Charcoal. I just got this into my collection, so I want to try that one. And I also pulled my ColourPop No Filter. This is like the perfect mattifying setting spray, and I really do need to kind of use this one up, so pull this one. I also realized I didn't pull out a second concealer like I usually do, so I went ahead and pulled out the One Size Butter Concealer. And then this is everything organized. I did go ahead and put back that CoverGirl highlighter. I realized I didn't need it. It was kind of taking up space. And so we got this organized as best as we could. That is going to be it for our April 2024 Shop My Stash. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give the video a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel or you're not already subscribed, I would love it if you would consider joining my little family, hitting subscribe. Make sure you tap the bell so you don't miss a thing. You can also follow me on my other socials. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Be safe, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.